Bortles steps away. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
Bortles going to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Whitney merciless. Leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Bortles. And that is incomplete. Charles, that's an important 3rd down stop. You don't want to spot him 2 touchdowns here early.
You're trying to slow momentum down. You've already given up the score. They're coming right back at you. You're exactly right. Being able to hold them there and force a decision on 4th down, that's big for the defense.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Let's go!
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Pulled in at the 24. Look at this spin.
Balance.
And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Only the Rams made fewer trips to the red zone than the Jags last year, but here they are in the red zone, 1st and 10. Fournette on the counter. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Shipped together here from the D-line. To throw is Bortles. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. A reminder that later tonight we'll see the Giants and Cowboys battle in Dallas. Seems like they're always playing in week 1. And then on Monday night, a doubleheader. Adrian Peterson, his first game with the Saints. He's already back in Minnesota to play the Vikings. And then a 10:20 start on the East Coast. It's the first game for the L.A. Chargers traveling to Denver.
A nice AFC West matchup.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, here's Watson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Fuller. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
first down. It's Watson. And that is incomplete here. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And now it's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
10 yards still left on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
The Texans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third down and 12. Here's Watson. A quick hitter, complete. It's Fuller. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Leckler now on as he'll punt this away. This will be fielded at the 17. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jags getting ready to set up shop on offense. And, Charles, it's a question with them that I feel like we've asked many times before. Is this the year you think that they turn it around? They enter 2017 having missed the playoffs for a 9th consecutive year.
And until Jacksonville answers that question affirmatively with a playoff run and a playoff appearance, we keep asking that question, and rightfully so. Look, they've had excellent drafts over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, most of that on defense. This year, they tried to hit it on offense to try and help out their young quarterback, Blake Bortles. They went with Leonard Fournette, the big runner out of LSU. Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. They want to control the ball a little bit more, and they think if they can do that, play better on offense, they can make a run in the AFC South.
And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. A good pickup there at 22.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Buying time to his left. His throw incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So third down. They need to get to the 28 for a first. Looking from the gun, it's Bortles. And that's complete to Lewis. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This is 1st and goal, and the Jags last year just 8 rushing touchdowns, 2nd fewest in the NFL. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. Now with his 3rd touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Second down, here's Miller. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Come on, let's go.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They keep it with Miller on first down. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Now a stoppage here for an injury. And oh boy, that looks to be the quarterback, Watson. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room, and they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. Underneath for Miller. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Here's Watson now on second down. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and it's third down. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
Let's go.
The final shot before the break. Watson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And the tight end goes in motion left. Second half beginning with a run from Fournette. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down, here's Fournette, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
He may not look the part of an inside linebacker because he's so tall and lengthy, but Zach Cunningham can fend off blocks, and he can flat out run and make plays.
He was so good at Vanderbilt. Led the SEC with 125 tackles last year. Wound up a first-team All-American. The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They give it off here to the tight end. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
in their own territory, needing only a few inches. They're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Play clock winding down. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Not that we necessarily see this as being in the cards, but worth noting that 21 points would equal their franchise record for largest deficit overcome. Certainly plenty of work to do between now and then. Quick move by Miller. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 45 yards on the ground.
Come on, let's go.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1 goal. Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The kickoff. This one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out come the Jags. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it, because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Greg Bortles simply cannot keep putting his defense in these types of predicaments. He's got to take care of the football.
And last season, a lot of the turnovers, just like this one, in Jags territory, 11 of the 16 really put them in a tough spot in plus territory for the opposition. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Here we go. What? Black round. Let's go.
A first down carry now for Miller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
in the red zone this time.
Let's go.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. First and goal here from the 9.
Come on, let's go. White, nine. Ohio. Black round. Come on, let's go.
They'll try the air now with Watson. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Back to throw, Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal.
Come on, let's go. White, nine. Ohio. Let's go. Grand 38.
Now Watson on third and goal. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on fourth and goal. They come out here in the I.
Ohio.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Here we go. White, nine.
And they'll run for it with Miller. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. Miller kept out of the end zone on 4th and goal, and the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And hello, he's going to be knocked backward as he'll be marked down at the 4-yard line.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. Again, it's Fournette. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Flush to his right, and he's got Will Tye complete. Whoosh. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Will Tye, 95 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. What a difference a year makes so far, at least. These guys last place in their division a year ago. Looking like they're going to move to 1-0 right now.
Not really unusual in the NFL, though, is it? Because we always talk about every year, 8-8 is kind of the baseline for everyone, plus or minus. And we've seen many teams go from worst to first. I know it's 1 week, but still, they're starting to think to themselves, we've got a chance this season.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Watson on first down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Marcel Darius able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on 2nd down. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Going for the deep ball. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Bortles on the give to Fournette. Broken tackle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Texans scoop it. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 30, the 20, 10. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
And his kick is good. Two scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball. Getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. They'll run it again with Fournette. And, he spins past him and into space. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. 31 yards there and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. First down and goal to go from the 7. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, you know I'm always going to listen to you first, okay? But when I hear the PA guy say, tackle in the backfield by Clowney, my first thought is to go back to his days at South Carolina and that one particular hit in the bowl game against Michigan.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. This one maybe not as big as that, but my mind goes there as well.
Yeah, but he's a talented individual because you can use him in so many different ways. Obviously, a defensive end. He can play stand-up outside linebacker and a nickel and sub situations. Rush him inside against offensive guards is usually too quick for him.
Yeah, he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Here's Fournette. Calling no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 19. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Again, it's Miller. Oh, nice move. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Now, nobody leaked. Big play. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Jacksonville made plenty of changes in their coaching staff in the offseason, but they kept the defensive staff mainly intact. They're going to need a better payoff. They only had 7 interceptions as a group last year.
Good to get the interception there. They want plenty more of those because, as you said, a lot of cash invested on that side of the ball.
A lot of talent. They're ready to roll.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Bortles going to throw here. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Here's a give to Fournette. And an alley to run. And down he'll go at the 25. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1.